Hey guys, it's Kim. This is going to be a different video than normal. I had a friend ask me about bullet journaling and what I do to get myself organized. So I thought I'd do a quick video because it's easier to do a video than try and explain it, I think, through a text or an email. So I do a bullet journaling system inside of a traveler's notebook. And the reason I do that is because bullet journaling for me has worked for several years and I love it. I have a job where I cannot sync any kind of technology to devices. So I would be in a meeting or I'd go to a doctor's appointment or I'd be with friends and I would get asked about a date and a time and I would have to say I didn't know until I could get back to work and back to my computer and check my calendar. So I write everything down, and because there's so much to write down, I ended up having to constantly switch notebooks. And as you can imagine, that got very tedious having to redraw everything constantly. So moving into the Traveler's Notebook system allowed me to retain a yearly, by month, a weekly, and then my normal daily notes, as well as add in 2 notebooks, which I used to have to carry around separately. I used to have to carry around 3 notebooks every day, so now having them all combined into one package is very, very convenient. Unlike a lot of other people, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not fancy with this system. Like, it kind of looks like I am from the outside a little bit because I've got a Fir and Yew charm and I've got little PU leather clips. But other than that, I don't really decorate my planner, and that's because I am very mobile with my job, and I don't want to have anything fall out of my planner or lose it if I actually decorated it more than anticipated. So I tend to keep it very simple. So I'll just show you what I do. So the Traveler's system, obviously you have jump bands in the middle, and this is my extra one that I put my work notebook in when I get to work. I keep that in the back. I do not take that home. And what you do is you buy notebooks or inserts that fit the size of your preferred traveler's notebook, and then that becomes your planning system. And I personally prefer traveler's notebooks with pockets. I use the pockets to store notes and other materials like rubber bands and paper clips, sometimes stickers. I put coupons in here when we go grocery shopping, etc. And I also like pockets because it makes it thicker. And I just really love the chunky feel of traveler's notebooks. I'm a big texture person. So this is actually vegan leather. It's not real leather. A lot of traveler's notebooks are real leather. This is by Cadeneta Notebooks. She's based in Spain. And this is in color pistachio, and I found her on Etsy. So as you can see, I don't have dashboards or anything like that. I have 3 or 4, I have 3 planning inserts and 1 extra insert in here. And my first insert is my calendar. So I go by month, this is 2017, and I write down all of my major dates and appointments, and I keep track of things that are going on that way. And then there are spots in the back for me to keep track of things, make notes for myself, and just kind of long-term brainstorm. And I'll use like a little paper clip to keep track. Like I made a Christmas countdown I've been coloring in every day, sort of like a mini advent calendar in my planner, just for me to enjoy. And I just mark it with a little paper clip. My next insert is my weekly calendar. And this is where I put in, so sometimes I'll have little stickers, right? But this is where I put in timed events and more detailed breakouts of what's going on every day. And the same thing goes for the back of this one, where I'll put in a little clip to keep track of notes for myself. These are just like more short-term lists that I'm probably not going to need to reference long-term like I would with a yearly insert. And then my last one is my daily, and I have a list of my key here, and just notes to myself and etc. So that's my daily. And then my last insert that I carry 24/7 used to be a separate notebook, and this is article drafts for my husband and I's website. And then, as I mentioned, my last strand I use to put my work notebook in, and that's where I take like work notes and jot down, meeting information and things like that. But I leave that at work and I don't bring it home. So anyway, that is how I do my system. Again, it's very simple compared to other people. I think that the key for any kind of organizational or planning system or bullet journaling system is that you find what works for you, right? Like, I think it's really cool how artistic people get and how fancy people can get. And like for me, making, for example, this Christmas countdown, that was the most artistic I have ever gotten bullet journaling ever. And I really desperately wanted an advent calendar, and we bought a house this year, and it's just not financially possible for me to blow money unnecessarily on an advent calendar. So I drew one for myself, right? Like, maybe someday I will be decorative and creative like so many cool people are out there with these. But again, I think the major point of these and what's great about this system is you can really personalize it for yourself, right? Like I have my monthly, my weekly, my daily, and then my draft. But you don't have to do that. You can have whatever you want. You can even put other planning systems in here. Like the, what's it called? The Panda Planner, or you can base your planning style on something else. Like people put the actual Midori inserts in here to help them organize their lives and things like that. So I think the beauty of this system is sheerly how customizable it is. I think it's so cool how everyone personalizes it. And that's what I do. I swap out my notebook covers on a pretty consistent basis, and I prefer, so this is a standard wide, but I usually just get the standard size traveler's notebooks to hold all of my inserts, and I own a couple now. I'm starting to build a collection, and I can do like a review of the collection I have if anybody cares or is interested, but I swap them out seasonally or depending on my mood. So right now I'm on a quest for like a mustard yellow leather one, so that's been my ongoing quest. This I thought was mustard yellow because the product photos look yellow, and I ended up getting, it was called pistachio. That was really dumb of me. I was just like, well, it looks yellow in the photos. No, it photographs yellow, and it looks green here, but in photos, something to do with the way that the camera processes the image for the texture, it looks yellow. So I had thought this was yellow, and then I ordered another one that I thought would be the yellow that I wanted. And it ended up being, there was like a language barrier issue, and they sent me the wrong size. So the quest continues for a mustard yellow traveler's notebook. But I digress. So anyway, I hope this is helpful and answers some questions. And it can be intimidating for people who are first learning about these systems, seeing all the creative stuff and things everyone else does. You don't have to do that. The important thing is to do what works for you. And if you want to get super creative with it, that's awesome. And you can do that. But the important thing to know is don't be intimidated. You can really make the system work for you. That's the beauty of it. So if you have any questions, let me know. And in the meantime, happy holidays.